All right, hi early years, caregivers, and parents. Welcome and thank you for attending the first virtual caregiving workshop. If your child had a chance to do the first virtual circle time, you may recognize me. I'm Stephanie. I'm one of the occupational therapy, or OT, students working with Ava, alongside my colleague Paula. So welcome to our first workshop, and again, thank you for attending. At the end, please leave your comments. Any feedback is helpful. If you like the format, if it was easy to follow, and as well, please fill out our surveys, as there you can kind of give your input on content for future workshops. All right, let's dive in. So to start our online caregiving series, we thought we would look into routines and daily activities. The art of doing is the bread and butter of occupational therapy. So this will give you a good introduction of what it's like working with an occupational therapist, as well as a good foundation for our future caregiving sessions. So I keep throwing out the word occupations. What are they and why do we talk about them? In the field of occupational therapy, we always discuss occupations no matter who we're talking to or what we're talking about, but we don't consider occupations a career. More simply, we define occupations as any daily activities you need or want to do, as they're meaningful and valuable to you. We often categorize our daily activities under three sections: self-care, productivity, and leisure. Beginning with self-care. Self-care is about taking action to care for yourself. This includes nurturing and protecting yourself, as well as doing things to help with your mental, physical, and emotional well-being. And just to note, self-care is a priority, not a luxury. And with self-care, we would include personal care activities like eating or dressing or feeding, as well as those fun activities like taking a nice bubble bath. Next, productivity. Productivity is any activity that contributes to society and your community. This would include paid and unpaid work, like your profession, volunteering, etc. And leisure, these are the activities you engage in for fun and for enjoyment. And this could be something like gardening or reading or hobbies. And just to note, most occupations or activities don't fit nicely into one of these categories. For example, you might read for fun but also read for work. So take it with a grain of salt and use the categories if you'd like. And I'll bring them back up in a few slides. Before then, I just wanted to talk about values. So when we work with our clients, we always dedicate some time to learn about and acknowledge what's important and meaningful to you, as our services would only be helpful if they're geared to what you want and need to do. If you can, take a moment to think about what you value and how that influences what you and your family do and engage in daily life. A nice activity might be listing 5 top values. By identifying the values most important to you, it can support you in choosing where to invest your time and energy. And then making these values a priority can help with purpose and fulfillment. So I just made a little example of myself. I put down family, love, I did caregiving myself, self-development, and mindfulness. Yours may be very similar or completely different. And that's great because we're all unique and we all come from different walks of life. And yeah. So if you'd like, feel free to pause this video. That's a great thing about doing it virtual. And take a few moments to reflect on your values. And perhaps you can use this activity to even jot down 2 or 3 or 5 or even 10, whatever you'd like. Next, I just wanted to talk about transitions, life transitions So these are the events in our life in which we experience change. Sometimes they're predictable. In a few years, many of your children will enter kindergarten at the age of 5, or they might be more unpredictable, like moving or an accident. As we know, life is always changing, and as a result, so do the activities we engage in. We often lose interest or desire. Sometimes we experience obstacles to participation, like when our role changes, such as becoming a parent or a parent to multiple children, environmental changes, work changes, or novel circumstances like we're facing today with COVID-19. And with that, we also gain new activities, new roles, new perspectives, and discover new values, new things you want and need to do in your life. Again, this is normal and great, and it keeps life interesting. However, it becomes problematic when you're no longer able to participate in meaningful activities due to various circumstances, or you're having difficulty balancing the things you need to do with the things you want to do, or you're not doing either of those. With COVID-19 specifically, we just wanted to acknowledge how difficult this time is. In addition to parenting, one of life's greatest roles, you're also dealing with an additional major change of routine. Potentially, you're working from home, or you may have experienced job loss. You're probably not able to connect with all your social supports in person. And leisure activities like our lovely Early Years program are closed, and that's very hard. Personally, I do not have any children, so I can only imagine the difficulties and fears you're overcoming each day, and I commend you for your efforts, and I want you to know it's normal and okay to feel a little worried right now. It's very normal. I also wanted to tell you to commend yourself for what you're doing and what you do just every day as a parent. And then doing it with today's added stressors is not easy, but you got this. With our virtual programming, we hope we can support you just a little bit and help things feel a little bit more normal. Again, thank you for joining me, but also thank yourself for giving yourself this opportunity to learn and invest in you and your family's well-being. With that, we should jump in to activity scheduling. So we wanted to start kind of at the basics and focus on activity and routine. So let's dive in and see how you're currently spending your day. And if it's not how you'd like to, maybe we can offer some strategies to increase the activities you need and want to do. So this is an activity log, a very basic one, but it's a great exercise we like to do. The purpose of completing an activity log is determining where you're investing your energy each day. So if you'd like, after this workshop's over, you can do this activity log for the next week or so, and you can even come back to this video and see the different strategies to change the activities you're doing. With that, after you complete an activity log, I want you to consider the 5 W's: who, what, where, when, and then add in how. So when you do activities, who are you doing them with? Are you doing them with your children, other family members, friends, coworkers? Are you doing them parallel to someone, which could mean you're doing the same activity but not interacting, or doing an activity in the same room but 2 completely different activities? Or are you doing these activities alone? What activities are you doing? This is where you might see, is it self-care tasks? Is it productivity? Is it leisure? Where are you doing these activities? With COVID-19, we're mostly spending our time at home now, but consider, are these activities taking place inside or outside? Are they in the kitchen? Are they in the bedroom? Are they in the living room? Etc. When are you doing these activities? Are you consistent, or is it all over the map? Is it when the kids are up? Is it when they're asleep? Is it when they're out of the house? Etc. And how long are you doing these for? Are you surprised by this? Is this more than you thought? Less than? Are you satisfied with that amount? And finally, why are you doing these activities? Because you need to, because you like to, because your kids or family or friends like to, or maybe you don't really have a reason or wish you weren't doing these certain activities. Remember to consider, are they something of high value or low value to you? I created an example here of 2 of my days, and then color-coded them based on the type of activity. Purple being productivity, blue being self-care, and orange being leisure. As you can see, I am spending a lot of time doing productivity, and the rest of the time it seems like I'm either eating or watching TV. I need to do my job. I can't really change that, and eating is very important. But I also have other priorities. I like to exercise, I like to socialize with friends. So I need to make it a priority to put down the electronics in the evening and instead use this free time towards something more meaningful. As you can see, I also got a little bit more consistent with consistent meal times and sleep times, different habits I'm developing by just rearranging my schedule slightly. With that, completing an activity log is great for a few things. Firstly, it visually quantifies what you're doing. You can see how much time you're spending on these certain activities. It allows you to plan. You can include activities you need and want to do, and it helps with routine development. Routine. As humans, we are creatures of habit, and this allows us to save our energy for more demanding activities. For example, for us, maybe not our kids yet, but brushing our teeth in the morning is a habit. We don't have to think about it. Since we've been doing it for so long, it's just part of our day. Routine provides that anchor. We know what to expect. And this helps us even when life throws in unexpected circumstances, like your child feeling unwell, bad weather, or this global pandemic. We already have this structure, and we can rely on that to help us feel more control. So just some more benefits. Firstly, control. Next, stress reduction. When you're less anxious and worried about what you need to do. It helps with sleep, which we'll go into more detail in a later workshop, but it helps your body recognize when it should be sharp and alert and when it can rest. It helps you effectively use your time and build in time for important things like downtime or socializing. And it allows you to plan for healthy behaviors, like a healthy diet, as we're mentally prepared for prep times and eating times, as well as daily exercise, which often gets neglected when days get busy. If it's part of your day, you just learn to do it. And finally, it'll help your kids, as they'll feel comfortable and safe with structures. Knowing what is expected makes life predictable and gives them control. So a few tips. Once you've identified what you need and want to do, set a goal. A helpful recommendation we make is to make a SMART goal. That is, something that is specific, what will you do, measurable, how you will do it, achievable, is it possible to accomplish, realistic, can you realistically achieve it, and timely, when will you achieve it? The great thing about goal settings is you're in control, and you choose by when and how you will achieve your goals, and who you will do your goals with. It's great to do goal setting as a family, as you have others to help you follow through with your goals and make you accountable. A little example I have is, when analyzing my daily log, I recognized I was spending my weekend mornings doing work-related emails. So I set up a time in the morning to do my emails, but I also set up a time to do a meaningful activity, which is spend time reading with my kids. So, starting next week, every Sunday from 9:30 to 10, I will check my emails. After that, I will not. By next Sunday, we will spend every Sunday from 10 to 10:30 reading storybooks as a family. As you can see, it's a specific goal. It's meaningful to me as I'd like to spend more family time, as well as complete my emails. It's measurable as I want to do it in these certain times. It's achievable as it's not unrealistic, as it's not that hard to do, and it's timely. I want to do it by next Sunday. So, developing a routine. Here are a few tips I have for doing that. First, it's identify a routine that works for your family. What should be a part of your routine? This goes back to your values and goal setting. What's important for you to do daily? Maybe it's about key times of the day, like developing a routine around mealtime or bath time, or morning activities. Make sure the routine works for the whole family. Explain the routine. Explain the routine to your child. Talk to them before. Tell them simple steps and review these steps, as children learn well with repetition. When using the steps, keep it simple. For example, for a bedtime routine, you might say, first we put on pajamas, then we brush our teeth. Next, we read a story in bed, and then we go to sleep. Have your child repeat the steps if they can. Or, as they get older, have them tell you the steps. You can also use a simple visual aid, like a checklist or a picture chart. Again, as they get a little older, they can add checklists to the chart or use the chart without needing your verbal cues, giving them a bit more independence. It's very important to follow the routine. This can be difficult, especially at first. Try to avoid distractions when doing an activity and think back to why you wanted it to become a routine. How is it helping you achieve your values? Next, routines can be flexible. It's great to have a relaxing morning on, say, Sundays. Just let your child know when there's going to be a change to routine and why. Maybe once a month, it's a special day where you spend all days in your pajamas. Make it fun, but just let them know. And finally, reward your good behaviors. Build in a time to express gratitude to yourself. Tell your child affirmations about their behavior. Like, I'm so proud of you. Wow, you did a great job. Or even award the family with a treat at the end of the week if you maintain routine. Again, make it fun. So here's just a morning example with a very simple visual aid. I might use it if I want to work on morning routines with my child. While pointing to the diagram the night before, I might say, we'll get up at 7 a.m., then get dressed in your yellow shirt and blue pants. Then we'll eat eggs for breakfast and brush our teeth. The next morning, I have to repeat this, and so on. Each day, if we were successful, I would provide some affirmation. Great work, I'm so proud of you. And at the end of the week, I might say, we can have some ice cream to celebrate because we did so good at developing our routine. Always remember to have fun and relate it back to your values. I wanted to end with this quote. It's not hard to make decisions when you know what your values are. I hope I've really driven home that point today. Remember, it's not easy, but you're doing a great job. Practice self-gratitude and reward yourself too. To conclude, I hope you learned a few tools and give activity logs a try. Maybe set some goals this week and try to develop a new meaningful routine. With that, I want to say thank you for your attention and joining me in this virtual parenting workshop, and give yourself some gratitude for investing in your learning and your family's well-being. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great day. Bye for now.